What's up, y'all? And welcome back to The Quiet Lab. I'm your resident introvert and host, DeAnthony Collins. Today's episode isn't just another news rundown. It's a look at the stark but stressed fault line between those who build and those who seek to destroy. But first, we'll start with something warm and human. A teacher whose morning affirmations went viral and for all the right reasons. And then we'll pivot into what's happening in Washington right now. Trump's attempt at autocracy in progress. A government shutdown strangling the working class. DOJ leaked messages and a press room moment that said the quiet part loud. If this is your first time listening or you've been here before but haven't yet, make sure you tap that like, follow, and subscribe. We're building a community of people who refuse to stay silent here. And if you're already a part of this movement, you know how I feel. Whisper if you must, roar when you can, but say something. I want to share a simple moment of joy I caught on social media with you this week. A first grade teacher from Birmingham, Alabama, just doing her daily morning affirmations with her class ended up going wildly viral. In the clip, she leads a room full of 6-year-olds in a call and response affirmations like, I am smart, I am strong, I'm a leader, I can do hard things. Such a pure positivity. Go ahead and check it out for yourself.
I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm loved, I'm a leader, I'm good looking, I can do hard things, I can make mistakes, it's okay to make mistakes. I'm kind, I listen, I'm respectful, I'm a good kid, and I'm gonna have the best Friday. Good job, kiss your head. Look at a friend and say, good, zip it, lock it. Good job.
Its hit garnered millions of views in just days. The teacher, who asked to be called just Miss J, started this ritual during the pandemic to help our students face uncertainty with their strengths. Thousands of comments flooded in from educators to parents to college students saying, this is exactly what I needed today. Here's the thing. While Miss J pours light into the world on a teacher's salary that for some barely covers monthly costs, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents are being promised up to $100,000 starting salaries and signing bonuses by the Trump administration. Man, what is wrong with this pigment? Teachers like Ms. J are out here shaping lives. Meanwhile, Trump's America is shoveling cash in every direction but our children's future. Man, let's get to the countdown. First thing, millions of Americans peacefully took to the streets to declare that Americans don't want any kings. No kings, to be exact. This countrywide protest was in effect in all 50 states, y'all, including over 7 million people, even in counties and districts that Trump won handily. Shamefully, though, it was barely a blip from legacy and corporate media coverage because they're too busy filming the loop and train wreck that is the Trump administration. But the Republican manufactured shutdown isn't just a DC soap opera. It's a chokehold on the working class. Us. We're now more than 21 days into the Republican shutdown, remembering that the Republicans have majority in all levels of government. They like for you to forget that when they try to call it the Democratic shutdown or the quote Democrat shutdown. Okay? But we all see that the human cost is mounting. More than 2 million federal workers right now are furloughed, RIF'd, or working without pay, according to the U.S. Office of Personnel Management. Rent and mortgages are due. Grocery costs more and more every week. People are being squeezed from every direction. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, who, mind you, doesn't hold the deed to the White House and has been spotted golfing several times since this shutdown started, is now literally overseeing its partial demolition to make room for what his aides describe as a, quote, ballroom vanity project. Now, elsewhere, I'm hearing it more and more referred to as the Epstein ballroom. I'm gonna go with that. The same week, Reuters confirmed delays in veterans' benefits. Trump smiled for cameras on the fairway. I don't know if many of you saw this, but he was out on his granddaughter's social media with that awful golf game. I mean, completely dreadful. It's a wonder that somebody who is so media savvy didn't want to look at that footage first before they saw how abysmal that golf game is. I mean, you know, he lies about being one of the best golfers in the world. All of these so-called trophies and awards that he's won, that he's gotten himself awarded, you know, is nonsense. But I digress, because it's a perfect portrait of the MAGA era. Indulgence for the powerful and cruelty for everyone else, because we all know that for them, cruelty is the point. And not for nothing, these contractors working on the White House should be worried about whether or not they'll even get paid, because Trump has a history of not paying for services rendered. He's been sued by some of everybody. You don't have to trust me. Check it out for yourself. Okay? This shutdown wasn't just some bureaucratic accident. It's their political weapon. The Associated Press reports that Republican aides admitted privately this week that prolonging it puts pressure on Democrats to cave. This is the strategy, guys. It's about leverage over the American people and owning the libs, not leadership. Okay? The Democrats are not just rubber stamping this bill that, yes, will keep the government going, but will also balloon the healthcare costs of people who are already struggling to pay them. Okay? We're talking about upwards of 20 million people having their health care affected and maybe even losing it altogether. Okay? So I know that this shutdown is not optimal for anybody, but I'm proud to see that they are standing for something and not falling for anything. And as the government bleeds, U.S. immigration and customs enforcement, like I said before, ICE, they're thriving. Trump has promised them expanded budgets, fat signing bonus. That's austerity for teachers and veterans, and windfalls for ICE. That's their priority list, y'all. And now, the back channels are bubbling to the surface. Anna Bauer over at Lawfare broke a real damning story about leaked DOJ communications suggesting pressure from Trump world on prosecutorial decisions. She was even showing some messages from Lindsay Halligan, the current interim Eastern District of Virginia attorney, who, mind you, is a Trump appointee. She's never prosecuted a case in her entire career, which isn't all that long. Okay? The messages between them aren't just about bending rules. They're about warping justice themselves. She was trying to put her finger on what gets reported. Okay? Which brings us to the press briefing that went viral this week. Veteran White House reporter S.V. Dáte, who you might remember from such White House press briefings as this.
Mr. President, after 3.5 years, do you regret at all the lying you've done to the American people? On
All the what?
All the lying, all the dishonesties.
That who has done?
You have done. Tens of
Yeah,
thousands.
go ahead, please. Please. Go ahead.
Did you think he would answer it?
Yeah. This veteran White House reporter directly pressed Secretary Karoline Leavitt on some leaks, asking if the White House was influencing DOJ action. Instead of an answer, Leavitt deflected with vague talking points about witch hunts and fake news. It's the exact kind of exchange that reveals everything without saying the word. These people aren't serious people. I mean, there's a text exchange between them with regard to a chosen meeting place of the U.S. and Russian presidents, and he asked who, was influential in choosing this. Her answer was, your mom. These are not serious people. This is the U.S. press secretary. These are not serious people. They cannot be taken seriously. Okay? And we also know that these are not isolated incidents. Trump is issuing directives through Truth Social, while his top aides, including folks like J.D. Vance and Mike Waltz, are allegedly conducting official business on encrypted apps like Signal, where Lindsay Halligan, by the way, was writing these messages and having this back and forth with Anna Bauer of Lawfare, knowing that these messages basically are going to self-destruct, so they feel like they can say anything. Okay? So these folks, like I said, are allegedly conducting official business on encrypted apps like Signal, designed to auto-delete messages. Watchdogs warn that this violates Federal Records Act and undermines transparency. But on top of that, Trump's distractions are piling up like bills on working folks' kitchen table. Just this week, he commuted George Santos' sentence, He approved a bailout for Argentina that undercut soybean farmers and is now undercutting the beef industry in favor of Argentina. And according to even Politico, who has been, more and more leaning right in favor of Trump, he's actively working to suppress the Epstein files. The economic storm clouds are already here. We've talked several times about the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS, being offline, which means no official jobs data and no inflation data. But the ADP's private payroll report shows the steepest drop in hiring nearly a year. The working class is working their hearts out while the billionaires and the donor class walk away with the spoil. And globally, Trump's pushing to cast himself as some kind of a peacemaker, angling for the coveted Nobel Peace Prize photo op, even as his policies fuel instability around the world. This is smoke and mirrors, ego over substance. He only wants it because he's obsessed with President Obama, and Obama won one. This isn't just mismanagement, y'all. This is open sabotage. It's about starving government to feed Trump's image, robbing Peter to pay Paul, trying to hide his floundering government, his economy, and tariff policies in this lingering shutdown. And congressional Republicans, not even resisting. They're on their backs, bellies exposed, and amplifying everything he says. There is Caddy carrying his golf bag and rubber stamping his chaos. But who pays while they play? It's certainly not the donor class, not his political enablers. It's the single mom who's just missed her second paycheck, the TSA worker pulling a double shift and not being paid, the teacher lifting up a classroom on a fraction of an ICE agent's starting salary. We gotta do better than this, guys. Wake up. Before we close, let's have a few follow-ups here. Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva still has not been sworn in, with Mike Johnson, blocking her swearing in, saying that he's not going to swear her in now until the, quote, Democrats reopen the government. Democrats aren't the ones who are shuttering the government. Okay? We already know that's true. You can't hold all levers of government and then say that it's the minority that's stopping you from doing this. But not for nothing, we already know that that can't be the main reason why they're not swearing her in. It's the Epstein files. They are covering up for Donald Trump. We all know that his current attorney general has already notified him that he was all over those Epstein files, and they've been working like mad to redact and remove before it comes out. She would be the 218th signer onto this request or demand to have the Epstein files released. And what I gather is that they're working to get one of those other 217 people to pull their names off. Because guaranteed, if they were somehow at 216, if she was going to be 216 or 217, she'd be sworn in right now. They're working to try to get somebody to come off that list. But I don't think it's going to happen. Because so many of those, even Republicans, ran on getting to the bottom of this information, and their constituents are not going to stand for it being shoved under the rug or being gaslit into there's nothing there after being told there's so much there. Swear in Adelita Grijalva. Arizona deserves representation, and she has been duly elected. Meanwhile, Mike Johnson is saying she should be doing constituent services. How can she do that? She can't get into her office. She doesn't have, access to any of the official channels and resources that should be allotted to her as a U.S. congressperson. So no, she can't be doing constituent services. I know that she's trying to get her team together. I know she's trying to make contact in certain ways and keep her constituency up to the minute and up to date on what's happening right now. But she does not have access to everything that she should. Swear in Adelita Grijalva. She was duly elected, and Arizona deserves representation right now. They're being taxed with no representation. Okay? They're being treaded on. Don't you guys hate that, MAGA? All right. ACA marketplaces are facing record call volumes with fewer workers to handle them. You know, good old Doge, right? And this shutdown, making it so that there's not as many people who can help handle these. And also so many people are worried about what's going to happen to their health care when we get to the end of this year and healthcare hasn't been handled and people's rates and premiums skyrocket. We know whose feet this will lay at and whose feet it does lay at right now. Federal courts are piling up delays in accountability cases against Trump's allies. International allies, according to the BBC News, are calling this a slow motion democratic unravel. The world sees it, guys. I know we see it as Americans. And the bill is going to come due. All right? Watch this space. Okay, tonight, we started with a teacher's affirmations, a moment of light. A reminder that America is more than just its headlines, but make no mistake, while people like Ms. J are out there building community, the people in power are busy breaking it. This shutdown, this attempt at autocracy, this chaos is not a random glitch. It's their strategy. But here's the thing about strategy. It can be exposed and it can be fought. And that's what we need to do. And before anybody comes for me, I'm not talking about political violence. I don't condone it. I've said it several times. What I mean by fight is stand for something. What is happening here is not right. And thinking that your vote doesn't count, your voice doesn't mean anything, they've already won. Because they're using their voice and they're using their vote. So why try to convince you that yours doesn't matter? Don't take the bait. Stand for something. Say something. And let's move this needle back towards what we know it's supposed to be. Let's steer our country back toward where we know it should be, the promise, the beacon. Let's finally start to try and live up to that, right? Thanks for joining us today. If this episode hit home, tap like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review, please. Not just for me, but to help this community grow loud enough to drown out the lies out here. I ask you every week, and I'm going to keep asking you, to be loud in your listening and to be real in your truth. I'm D. Anthony Collins, and this has been The Quiet Loud. Y'all take care.